Well, October is Domestic Violence Month, and celebrities have come out in full force to raise awareness about the issue.
And here to discuss the A-listers that are fighting against abuse is lifestyle coach Sharmayne Jenkins. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So just how pervasive a problem is domestic violence?
Oh, domestic violence is extremely pervasive at this time. About 1 in 4 women will experience severe physical violence. And when you go past those numbers, which are the ones they always put out there in the media, it's really about 1 in 3 women will experience some kind of physical violence. And about 50% of the women will go through some kind of psychological aggression within their intimate relationships.
Wow.
And
a lot of dysfunction out there.
A lot. And 1 in 3 homicides that have to do with a woman is a result of domestic violence as well.
And there seems to be a lot more celebrities speaking out against domestic violence. Who are some of the people that you've noticed?
Well, speaking out against it and also advocating and helping in terms of fundraising and such. Kerry Washington, they just finished Tuesday, the Purple Purse Foundation. She's partnered with Allstate to raise money because they've realized that financial abuse is really the untold story here. 98% of the women that do not leave or go back to domestic violence relationships do so because of finances. So they're trying to empower people. They can't afford to leave, or they don't want to leave their home, or sometimes their partner is holding on. They take their check from them. They only siphon off little bits of money. So they leave them in a position where they're powerless and they don't have the resources that they need so that they can go and be independent, or they don't want to leave the lifestyle they have for themselves or their children.
And now Charlize Theron is an actress who grew up in an abusive home in South Africa. I know that there's some story there about that.
Yeah, her father was an alcoholic and he was abusive to the mother. And when she was 15 years old, her mother actually shot the father and killed him in self-defense as a result of that relationship.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, and she's one of the people who have advocated. As a result, she opened 2 rape crisis centers in South Africa where she's from, because intimate domestic violence is a whole nother issue. Like, a lot of partners will force their partner to have sex with them, usually after they beat them.
Wow. And you know, more and more people are talking about it, but it seems historically it has been very taboo to bring out, you know, personal matters of the home. Why do you think that has changed in recent?
Well, and why are celebrities more comfortable with speaking out about being victims of domestic violence as well?
Well, I don't know if they're more comfortable or if social media has forced them out of the closet. You know, there's been a lot of big cases that have come out because things have happened in public, which normally you might have been able to sweep under the rug, like the Ray Rice and
Rihanna incident.
Yes, the Rihanna incident. There's a whole bunch that's been captured, and one little message can go throughout the world. And forget about the paparazzi who are out there looking for every sign of aggression so they can have a story too. So it's become hard to hide. And I think that as the public becomes more aware of the fact that celebrities are too going through this, it's served both the celebrity to come out, and it served the public to know that, you know, this is not just something they're going through.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think that celebrities being public about being victims of domestic violence, whether it's their choice or not, actually helps or hurts the cause of spreading the message
I think it helps a lot. I think people think there's a certain demographic that would be silly enough to allow themselves to be victim. You know, one of the big questions is, why would you put up with that and why would you leave? You know, with October being also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, there's so much focus on that, but that's easier for people to focus on because that's a possibility. But a lot of people don't think domestic violence will be a possibility for them, especially if they have a certain social status or economic status. So when you see a celebrity that's involved in these kind of incidences, it makes it clear to the public that you're not, you know, you're not
immune.
You're not immune. You're not special. You don't have any special powers because of your money or position or your status that will keep you from being a part of this. And it also lets the common folk, people like myself, know that there's nothing wrong with them. You know, and that
because there is that feeling that I'm a victim of domestic violence. Someone like a Kerry Washington, not that she was a victim, but someone like a Charlize Theron, or even a Kelly Rowland. She's spoken about
Kelly
being a victim
Rowland,
of domestic violence. Rihanna, Sarah Hyland from Modern Family.
Yeah, Meredith Vieira did a whole big thing on how she was living with someone in a domestic violence relationship for years, and the only way she felt safe leaving was when she got a job in another state, because she didn't feel like if she left him, she felt like he would come after her, and then she'd be subjected to even worse violence. So,
well, do you think it's easier or harder for those celebrities to escape those domestic violence relationships because they're in the limelight and because their relationships have been so public, and what the people in media may think?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that one a lot, and I don't think it's either. I think the same things they're worried about, the public scrutiny and how it's going to affect their career and how people are going to approach and deal with them. I think that's the same thing that everybody goes through in their own little world. And it's true, they have a bigger world, but once it's out there, and then you can move on from that. But I think everybody feels the same, like, what are people going to think? How's it going to look? How's it going to affect my career, my standing in the community? How am I going to look at my neighbors? I think everybody has the same feelings. Their neighbors are just 4-6 billion people.
That's true.
So
what advice do you have for non-celebrities who are trying to escape domestic violence?
I think the first thing is to really, really try to have a plan, like have your support in place, know where you're going to go, have some money available to you. I think that people need to understand that even when they leave a domestic violence relationship, even when you take new ground, sometimes it still feels like loss. And don't get confused with the feeling of loss and pain from leaving this relationship to mean that that's indicative that maybe you should go back. I think another big point is what you focus on. The question is always, what are you focusing on? Are you looking at what's lacking, or are you looking at what you have? Are you looking at what you can control, or are you looking at what you can't control? Are you looking at the possibilities or the limitations? Are you focused on your past, or are you looking at the future? If you can get clear on what you're focusing on and shift your focus, I think it will help you be able to not only leave it, feel better about yourself, but also realize that there's a future out there for you that can be way brighter than anything you can imagine.
I like that. There's a brighter future out there for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That's great advice.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for watching Arise Entertainment 360. Unfortunately, we're out of time for today.
No.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.